Hello and welcome to Fire of Learning. Canada's national animal is the North American beaver. The beaver was made Canada's official national animal in 1975, but its association with the Canucks goes back much further. The fur trade was a primary attraction for European settlers to come to Canada to begin with. Many French and Anglo-Canadians today trace their origins to settlers from this time, the 17th century onward, and purpose. Like the Canadian population it lives around, the beaver is a small but prodigious and determined animal, capable of great feats. The bald eagle is a well-known symbol of the United States, appearing in many areas, including the country's coat of arms. The nation's founding fathers likened their republic to the Roman Republic, and, like the Romans, sought to symbolize their nation with an eagle, choosing a native North American bird, the bald eagle, as a result. Contrary to popular myth, Benjamin Franklin never actually advocated choosing the turkey as America's national symbol, but he did believe the bald eagle to be a poor choice. Like many countries, Mexico too has taken the eagle to be a symbol of their nation. Not a bald eagle though, but a golden eagle. The origin of this symbolism dates back to before Mexico even became a nation. Aztec myth holds that the Mexica people wandered the countryside until they received a sign from the gods, which would mark a proper location on which to settle. Eventually, they saw a golden eagle consuming a snake over a lake. This, they believed, was a symbol of the triumph of good over evil, and a perfect location on which to build the city which became Tenochtitlan, or today, Mexico City. The Republic of Ireland lacks a single official national animal, but the Irish hare, the red deer, and most prominently, the bull have each been put forward. As we've looked at in past videos, cattle were of great importance, historically, to the Irish, especially in ancient and medieval history. Cattle were effectively used as currency, status symbols, and of course, above all, survival. The lion has existed as a symbol of England ever since the Middle Ages, appearing on its royal banner. They are symbols of strength, bravery, pride, and justice. This association seems to have been made during the reign of the crusading king Richard I, often called the Lionheart. The lion is also popular for the same associated character traits with the Dutch, Norwegians, Belgians, and other countries. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's not because the Scottish are eccentric, they might be, but rather because the unicorn, according to very ancient myth, was the natural enemy of the lion. As a proud, strong, and untamable beast, it was adopted during Scotland's conflicts with their English neighbors. We see a similar situation in Wales, where the national animal is a dragach. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, the red dragon. It is said to have been a symbol of the Celtic Britons, developing in the age of the mythical King Arthur, but it may have developed even before that, in Roman or even pre-Roman Britain. The national animal of France is, well, a chicken. I'm sure we'll be getting some creative surrender jokes there. Indeed, this joke has been going on for centuries. It originated from the Latin word Gallus, coincidentally meaning both inhabitant of Gaul, a classical name for the area that we now call France, dating to the Romans, and rooster. It was humorous for France's enemies to compare them to chickens, but the French embraced it, viewing their national animal as a strong, fighting rooster. It also has a strong association with various aspects of the Christian religion. Germany is another nation which uses the eagle as its national symbol, this time being a black eagle, not necessarily based off a real, specific species. The Germans, believe it or not, also derive this symbolism from the Romans. In the 9th century, the Emperor Charlemagne laid the foundation for what would become the Holy Roman Empire. This Holy Roman Empire was intended to be a rebirth of the Old Roman Empire, though it later became a very complicated, fractured country centered in what would become Germany. The Germans no longer claim to be Romans, but the symbolism has remained ever since. Italy's national animal is the wolf, though this isn't official. The reasoning lies very far back in history, even prior to the foundation of Rome. According to Roman legend, the founders of Rome, the twin brothers Romulus and Remus, were orphaned and raised by a she-wolf until they were adopted. The wolf has been an important symbol to the people of Italy ever since. It may come as no surprise that the national animal of Spain is the bull, specifically the Spanish fighting bull, a breed specifically bred for the Spanish pastime of bullfighting, which likely dates back to ancient Rome. The breed is specifically selected for strength, endurance, and speed, traits which are admired by the Spanish people. The national animal of Greece is the dolphin. The Greek admiration of dolphins dates back to ancient times, at least as far back as the Minoans around 2000 BC. Dolphins were seen as animals which were friendly to humans, signs of good luck, and even linked to the gods, specifically Poseidon, who used dolphins as his messengers. A seafaring people like the Greeks were bound to adopt it as a symbol. Denmark's national animal is the mute swan. You wouldn't expect the descendants of Vikings to choose such a graceful and gentle animal to represent their nation, but the association dates to a famous tale written by the Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. You know it as the Tale of the Ugly Duckling. It tells the story of an ugly baby bird who is abused in its youth, but matures to become the most beautiful bird of all. The national animal of Sweden is the moose. The moose is a strong, large, and proud animal, native to the region, generally peaceful but dangerous when provoked. Moose have a long history in Sweden. In fact, in the 18th century, the Swedish military actually tried to replace horses with moose. However, the animals were too fearful of gunfire to be effectively employed on the battlefield. It almost sounds wrong not calling them meese, you know? Anyway, Poland has two animals which are seen to represent it. The first, very commonly used, is the white-tailed eagle, appearing on its coat of arms. The second is the European bison. Russia, too, has two animals worth mentioning. The first is the bear, specifically the Eurasian brown bear, a well-known symbol of Russia ever since the 16th century. It was adopted to symbolize strength and power. It has been depicted by Russia's enemies, however, as a large but violent and clumsy animal. The double-headed eagle was another symbol of Russia prior to its revolution. This too dates back to Rome. Though Rome fell in 476 AD in the west, it continued on in the east. This Eastern Roman Empire continued until the 15th century, having a profound impact on its Slavic neighbors. When it fell, Russia claimed to pick up the torch of Romanness, and thus adopted some of its symbolism. The double-headed eagle is a Roman symbol representing vigilance over both the west and the east. The national bird of Argentina is the Rufous hornero, the red ovenbird, a bird found exclusively in South America, where its cheerful call is heard in the mornings. Thus, it became a natural symbol of the nation. The national animal of Brazil is the jaguar. Like many nations which admire the lion or the tiger, the people of Brazil admire the South American equivalent for its strength, speed, intelligence, and endurance. This association long precedes the founding of the nation itself, however, having importance among many of the indigenous peoples. The national animal of Turkey is not the turkey, but is in fact the gray wolf. Turkish admiration of the gray wolf dates back to the pre-Islamic Turkic peoples, among whom the animal held great religious significance. It was a strong and confident animal, but one which achieved its success by working with others. It is said in Turkish mythology that the Turkish people were not only guided by wolves to lands which they would one day conquer and make their home, like Turkey itself, but that they are even, in part, descended from wolves. The people of Iran, like many countries, admire big, powerful cats. In this case, the Persian lion is most commonly cited as Iran's national animal. This association predates the modern nation, extending back into history throughout the reigns of the Persian empires. The national animal of Pakistan is the Markhor, also known as the screw-horned goat. The animal, with its very distinctive horns, has had an important place in the mythology and legends of the area. It is said to kill and eat snakes, though this has not ever been documented. In line with a common trend, the people of India have named the Bengal tiger, a strong and powerful beast exclusively found in the Indian subcontinent, as their national animal. Returning to mythological animals for a second, the prevalence of dragons in Chinese culture and mythology is well known. It appeared on the flag of the Qin dynasty, but has been associated with the strength and power of the Chinese emperors for centuries. In China, dragons are seen as more noble beasts than the dragons of Europe, which, according to legend, are much more nefarious and destructive. In North Korea, the national animal is the cholima, a mythical winged super horse said to be too quick and elegant to be mounted by a mortal man. In South Korea, however, the Siberian Tiger has been chosen as the national animal. Both the Red Kangaroo and the emu, exclusively found on the continent, are considered the national animals of Australia. Each animal appears on the nation's coat of arms, despite Australia's famous trouble with the great emu warlords during the Emu War of 1932. Just joking, of course. The Emu War was not a real war, and Australia does not actually exist. The kiwi bird is a famous symbol of New Zealand, to the point at which the people of New Zealand themselves are sometimes referred to as Kiwis. The bird has also appeared on a number of proposals to redesign the flag of New Zealand. And so there we have it, the national animals of many nations of the world. Do these animals accurately represent the characters of these nations? Let me know in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I invite you to come check out the rest of Fire of Learning and to subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. To help with the cost of production, a donation on Patreon would be a big help. A special thanks to our current patrons listed here. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, so come check us out there too. Thank you for watching.